Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how to use Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, if you're experienced with Adobe Premiere, you can totally skip this video, but if you're new to the software, you may want to watch this just to get your bearings straight. So this is the welcome screen whenever you open up Adobe Premiere. I'm going to create a new project. So you can select whichever folder you want to put it in. Generally, it's a good idea to stay super organized right at the beginning. And you can set a project name. I'm going to call this one Demo Project, but you can call it whatever you want. Let's go ahead and click Create in the bottom corner to create a new project. So the one thing you want to make sure of is that you are set to edit mode here. So inside of edit mode, your screen should look generally like this. If it doesn't look like this, that's totally fine. You can go to Window, Workspaces, and then go to Editing. And when you select that, it will pop up all of the panels here. So I know this looks a little overwhelming. Don't worry, I'll walk you through it. So really in Premiere Pro, there are 4 main panels that you need to worry about. This one, this one, this one, and this one. This panel over here is your project panel. This is where all of your assets will be stored. This is essentially a folder that will house all of the components that you will use, whether it's video, audio, pictures, or whatever else inside of your project. This panel up here is your program folder, and this will display a preview of your video. This one in the bottom right is your timeline panel. This is the timeline that you'll edit, and you have your program panel up here, which will show what your final result is going to look like. So let's start things off by importing some assets into your project here. So you double click on this box here. It will pop up a Finder window that will allow you to import your assets. So I'll go ahead and import these here. So all of these assets can be downloaded by clicking the link below this video. So before we start editing, it'd be super easy to start editing, but I actually want to organize. So being organized in Premiere is essential because projects can really get out of hand. So a really simple way to do this is to just have a folder for your video, have a folder for our music, and then we'll have a folder for our voiceover. Obviously, this can get much more complex depending on your project. You could have folders for certain cameras. You can have folders that organize certain days of your shoot. It can get really, really advanced, but just generally, it's just a good idea to keep things organized right from the start. So what I want to do is I want to create a new sequence. So basically a new timeline that we can edit our project in. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to simply grab a clip, and you can either drop it directly into the timeline box right here, or you can drag it over this little symbol here that looks like a folded piece of paper to create a new sequence. So I'll go ahead and do that. And you can see we have a brand new sequence up here. So to go ahead and click play, you'll see the video clip with the audio in the background right there inside of the timeline. Now it will create a new asset here with this weird symbol that basically means it is a sequence. So we want this to have a different name than just Griffith Observatory because it inherits the name of the asset that you drug into the timeline panel. I'll just call this our drone project for now. So now that drone project here is here, I'll pull it outside of the video folder here so it's kind of separate. So now you can see we have our video clip on top, and it's in a video. So now you can see we have our video on top and our audio on bottom. The video lives on the video tracks, which are labeled B1, B2, B3. You can add many, many more video tracks on top, many, many more audio tracks on the bottom. So you can have more than one piece of audio playing at a time or video overlapping itself. So I'm actually going to double check that our sequence settings are correct. So whenever you're working on a cinematic project, you typically want the frame rate to be 24 frames per second or 23.976, which basically means 24 frames per second. And in order to double check, you can just go to Sequence and go to Sequence Settings. And we can see that we are in 24 frames per second. This is 4K footage, and everything else is good to go. So I'll click OK. So we're good to go there. So now I'm going to actually delete this footage from our timeline because I don't want the entire clip there. I actually just want parts of the clip. So let's go to our video folder here, and I'm just going to double click on this footage, and you can see it pops up over here. So this is our preview panel, and this is basically just helping us to preview our footage so that we can see kind of which clips we want to pull from. So I like this opening shot here. Let's say we want to start our video with that opening shot. So these are called in points and out points. And in points and out points basically are little brackets that tell Premiere this is the start. So if you set an in point, that's the start. And then if you move forward and set an out point, that is the end. So the only part of the clip that will get pulled into this timeline is what's included in between the in point and the out points. And you can use I and O as keyboard shortcuts to set in points and out points. So what you can do is you can drag this clip down here to the timeline, and it will drag in both the video and the audio, which is great. But if you just want to drag in just the video, you could take the video only button here that looks like a little cinematic clip, and we'll drag it into the timeline. And if you wanted to drag in only the audio, you have that option too. Just drag in the audio only button there. So let's keep this going further here. So I want to pull a few more clips. So let me just scrub through here. We'll just pick a few just random clips. Great. We'll drag that into the timeline. And let's see, grab a couple more shots here. Great. And now let's pull from a different clip. So I'll back those up there. And let's go over here to this downtown shot here. So this really cool shot of downtown LA. I'll go ahead and drag that down into our timeline. And you have a clip of Silver Lake here. I like all of these shots, so we'll just keep it just like that and drag it into our timeline. Okay, cool. So we have about 47 seconds of footage in our timeline. So now let's add in our voiceover. So I generated a voiceover in 11 Labs here. So this is just a quick voiceover created in AI. And you can see that it's about 1 minute and 5 seconds long. I'll just go ahead and so in Premiere Pro, whenever you are near the end of a clip, you'll see these brackets here, this kind of forward and backwards bracket. Basically, if you click and select, it will allow you to drag a clip forward or backwards, depending on whichever way you move your mouse. Now, let's say that we liked this footage, but we actually wanted to slice it right here. Well, there's actually a really helpful tool called the blade tool or the razor tool here. You can actually just select it right here from the toolbar and click to cut your clip right down the middle. And so if you wanted to, you could just hypothetically just delete that clip and add in a new one. For our example, I'll just Command Z to add it back in there. So let's say that you now wanted to add in music. Well, we definitely can do that. So I'll just add in this music here, but instead of just dragging it into the timeline, what I want to do is I'm going to set an in point at the beginning, and we'll set an out point about the 1:05 mark. Just drag it in here. Okay, great. Now, by default, music tends to be too loud, so I'll play this back, and you should be able to hear how the music is probably going to drown out our subject a little bit. So let's play it back. Every street seems to whisper your name. In Los Angeles, dream. So it's just a little too loud. So what I'm going to do is select the audio, and now we want to adjust its settings. So inside of Premiere Pro, you have an effects controls panel. And the effects controls panel basically allows you to adjust different settings related to the clips that you select in the timeline. So I'm going to go ahead and select it, and you can see we have our music selected right now. And because we have the music selected, we can adjust every setting related to the music. So I'm going to deselect the level stopwatch here. And this will basically allow us to adjust the overall level of this clip. So generally what I found is with music, if it has been leveled at a normal music level, you usually want to turn it down to about about 26. So let's go ahead and click away there and listen to what we have. Themes take form and flight under the haze of day and the promise of night. An orchestra of life in an urban symphony, Lossic. Okay, so that sounds much, much better. And I should note that when you select a video clip, it also pops up the information in the effects controls panel. So you can adjust things like the position of the video, the scale of the video. You can turn up and down the rotation and just many other settings there. And anytime you add an effect to a clip, you'll be able to adjust that effect in the effects control panel here. So let's take things further here. So let's say that we want to start out this video with a fade in. We don't want it just to directly start with this shot. We kind of want it to go from black and, fade in cinematically? Well, to do that, you just go to the effects panel, and this is essentially a library of different effects that are available to you. And you can just click through the folders here and see all the ones that you could use. Or if you know the name of the effect, you can just search it in the search bar here. I'll type in cross dissolve, and this basically will fade your clips. So I added in a cross dissolve there. Let's go ahead and watch this back. In the heart of dreamland, bathed in perpetual sun, Los Angeles sprawls, a tapestry never quite done. Okay, so you can see that we faded in our video there. And if you ever want to adjust the length of your transition, you just select the transition in your video clip and just drag this head over, just like that. Or if you want to get really specific with it, you can just select the transition, and then with your effects controls panel selected, you can change the duration right here. That's very helpful. So you can also add in these transitions between clips. So if we take this and drop it right here in the middle of this clip, you can see that it's 50% on this clip and 50% on this clip. And let's go ahead and watch that. That on Los Angeles sprawls, a tapestry. Cool. And cool. So you can see that we've added in that transition. You can, again, extend it as long as you want it to. It's completely up to you. Now, I should note that there's also some settings over here on the left where you can mute certain tracks, or you can solo them to where you can only hear those tracks. So that's very helpful. And then you also can turn off this eyeball here, which will turn the actual visibility of this video track layer on and off. So that can be helpful if you're just deep in editing and you have a lot of clips inside of your timeline. So in addition to all of the quick editing tools that I've shown you, you can also add in titles very, very easily. There's actually a title tool right here. So you can go ahead and select type, and then just select inside of your timeline here, and we will just say Los Angeles. And you can see that by default, it pops up our graphics panel here on the right. It has all of the settings that you would expect to see in the graphics channel over here. It's just a little bit more of a visual representation that's easier to edit. So I'm going to pick a font here. You can pick whichever font you want. Let's just do, I think I have Nexa on my computer, which is a pretty nice font. You could use Arial, Times New Roman. We're just following along here, so it's completely up to you. And I'll space out the text here with this text spacing slider, and we can adjust the orientation here. Now, there is a button in Premiere Pro for safe margins, and the cool thing is they create these little lines that can help you find where the center of your frame is. And so I use these quite a bit just to kind of help me line things up. Move them around. We can even center the text so that it's in the middle there. Perfect. And just like all the other tools, you can add in cross dissolves to text as well. And so let's watch this back. Just like the dreams of those who pass by, a blanket of stars. Okay, so as you can see, the text is in there. Now, let's say that we actually wanted this text to scale up. We don't want it to be super small. We want it to have this animated feature where it kind of gets bigger throughout the duration that it's on screen. Well, to do that, we need to set a keyframe. Now, a keyframe basically says that at this specific point in time, this specific effect is going to be at this value. And so, for example, if we go over here to the scale for our graphics, let me scrub to the very beginning of this clip so you can see we're at the very first frame. We can't see the text because of the transition. In fact, let me delete the transitions from this text just so we can see what's happening here. And I'll select it, and we will set a keyframe for the scale of 100. Let's go ahead and move to the very end here. And let's scale this up further. Right there. And let's go ahead and play this back. Like the dreams of those who pass by, a blanket of stars. Cool. So you can see it's scaling up. Looks pretty good. Now, one thing is the image is actually, the anchor point is scaling not from the center of the text. So whenever you scrub over your anchor point, which is basically the place in which all of the other text is going to scale from, you can put it right in the middle. So the text is going to scale up from that middle point, and then we'll add in our cross dissolves. And let's watch this back. Themes of those who pass by, a blanket of stars, not above but below. Okay, so that's essentially the components of editing inside of Premiere Pro. Now, there are a lot of settings and tools at your disposal. But those are really the most basic ones that you should know about. Now, let's say that we were ready to export this video. Well, in order to export, what you need to do is go to File, Export, Media. And this will open up a box basically that will allow you to adjust the settings for your exported project. So if you're exporting for the internet, like let's say it's going on YouTube, typically you want it to be in an H.264 format, but you can also use some less compressed formats like Apple ProRes. That's a pretty good professional format. And there's just all sorts of formats. If you're, let's say, just exporting the audio alone, you could export as an MP3 or a waveform audio. All of these things are here and available to you. And so you would basically just name your project, and then you would define where you want your project to be saved, and then hit the export button. And alternatively, you could send it to Adobe Media Encoder, which is a third-party tool. Like, let's say if you wanted to queue up a bunch of different projects to export at a later date, let's say that you wanted to queue 10 projects up instead of exporting them one after another, you can queue them in Adobe Media Encoder, finish editing, and then hit play, and Adobe Media Encoder will export that for you. I should also note that you can adjust different settings inside of here. So by default, it will inherit everything from the source, which is your sequence settings. But if you wanted to, you could deselect the box and then go in and change. Maybe we want this to be an HD export rather than a 4K. So there you go. Okay, so that is a super quick tutorial on how to use Adobe Premiere Pro.